The discipline engine. How to automate willpower and build unstoppable. Daily systems. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself anymore. It's about engineering your environment so the right choices become effortless. And this system makes motivation obsolete. Stop lying to yourself. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. You are out-engineered. Your environment is wired for your failure, and your willpower is a finite resource that's already depleted by noon. This ends now. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself anymore. It's about engineering your life so the right choice is the only choice. This book is your blueprint. We are building the discipline engine. And by the end, motivation will be obsolete. Chapter 1. Stop trusting your willpower. That sound. You know that sound. It's the sound of a resource depleted, a tool gone dead. It's useless until it's recharged. That is your willpower. From the moment you wake up, you are draining the battery. You drain it hitting the snooze button. You drain it deciding what to wear. You drain it resisting the donuts in the break room, navigating a frustrating commute, and dealing with a difficult email. By noon, your willpower battery is deep in the red. You're running on fumes. So, what happens at 8 p.m. when you're exhausted? That pint of ice cream calls your name from the freezer, and your plan was to go for a walk. You fail, you binge. You collapse on the couch, and then you blame yourself. You call yourself lazy, undisciplined, weak, but you are wrong. You are not weak. You are out of power. You spent your entire day resisting, forcing, and grinding through decisions using a finite resource. You trusted your willpower, and it betrayed you because it was never designed to carry the entire load. Willpower fails. It is a flawed strategy. It is a leaky bucket. Relying on it is the single biggest mistake you make every day. You have a choice. You can keep beating yourself up for nightly failures that are the direct, predictable result of your morning drain. Or you can accept the truth and change your strategy. That's the key. It's not about building more willpower. It's about building a better system. This brings us to the core concept. Friction versus flow. Every action you take exists on this spectrum. A high-friction environment is a war of attrition against your willpower. The gym is 20 minutes away. Your healthy food is unprepared in the fridge. Your work project is a disorganized mess. Every step requires a conscious, draining decision. High-friction environments defeat you. They are designed for your failure. A low-friction environment, however, is a slide. It's a path of least resistance that leads directly to your goal. Your gym clothes are laid out the night before. Your healthy lunch is prepped in a container. Your workspace is clean, and your first task is clearly defined. You don't have to decide. You just have to execute. Low-friction environments empower you. They make the right thing easy. Willpower fails. Systems win. A system is nothing more than a pre-designed environment that creates flow. It removes the need for decision-making at the point of exhaustion. It automates the right choice. The system is what gets you to the gym when your willpower is gone. The system is what ensures you eat the healthy meal when you're tired and hungry. The system is the backup generator that kicks on when your main power fails. You don't need more motivation. You need better engineering. So, here is your first real-world instruction. Your transformation begins tonight. You will perform a willpower audit. Here is how it works. Before you go to bed, you take a notebook. You write down one simple question. What drained me today? I want you to list the 3 decisions that taxed your willpower the most. Be specific. Was it the mental battle to avoid scrolling on your phone when you should have been working? Was it the effort required to force yourself to start that difficult report? Was it arguing with yourself about whether or not to go to the gym? Identify the drains, name them. These are not character flaws. They are system failures. They are points of high friction in your day. Your command is this. Tomorrow, you will engineer just one of them out of existence. If scrolling drained you, your engineered solution is to charge your phone in another room overnight. If starting the report drained you, your engineered solution is to write the first sentence before you finish work today, so tomorrow you can simply continue. If the gym debate drained you, your engineered solution is to pack your bag and place your shoes by the front door. You are not trying harder. You are designing smarter. You are replacing a drain with a flow. That's the key. It's not about being a better person. It's about being a better engineer of your own life. Willpower fails. Systems win. Every time. Stop trusting the thing that consistently lets you down and start building the thing that never will. You've identified the drains. You've stopped trusting a failing system. Now it's time to actively build a new one. It's time to design your life so you can't fail. Chapter 2. Design your defaults. Listen to that sound. That's the sound of your future self waking up. And your future self is a liar. Your future self is weak. Your future self is a master negotiator who will broker deals with the devil to get 5 more minutes of sleep, to skip the workout, to order the takeout. You cannot trust them. You make promises to yourself at night, in a moment of clarity and strength. Tomorrow I'll run. I'll eat clean. I'll start that project. But tomorrow comes, and you're tired. You're stressed. You're not the same person who made that promise. The version of you that has to execute is fundamentally weaker than the version of you that made the plan. Relying on that future version of yourself is a strategic failure. It is handing the keys of your life to a saboteur. You have a choice. You can keep being betrayed by the weaker you of tomorrow, or you can start building cages for them today. That's the key. It's not about trusting your future self. It's about designing their environment so thoroughly that they have no choice but to succeed. This is the essence of designing your defaults. A default is the preset path. It's what happens when you're on autopilot. Right now, your defaults are probably working against you. The default is to hit snooze. The default is to scroll through social media. The default is to eat whatever is easiest. Your mission is to weaponize autopilot. This leads to the most important rule: one less choice. Every decision you have to make in a moment of weakness is a point of failure. Your goal is to systematically eliminate these decisions in advance. You automate the recurring themes of your life. You are the architect of your own routines. Think about your mornings. How many decisions do you make before you've even had coffee? What to wear? What to eat? What to do first? This is a willpower massacre. A designed morning has 0 decisions. Your clothes are laid out the night before. Your breakfast is prepped and waiting. Your first work task is written on a notepad. You are a zombie executing a brilliant plan. The same goes for your meals, your work focus, your finances. If it's important, it must be automatic. Automation is not laziness. Automation is supreme discipline. It is the act of making a decision once, from a position of strength, so you never have to make it again from a position of weakness. You don't decide to save money. You set up an automatic transfer. You don't decide to work deeply. You schedule a focus block and turn off notifications. You don't decide to go to the gym. You follow the pre-laid path of your clothes, your packed bag, and your scheduled time. You don't need motivation. You need a system that bypasses the need for motivation entirely. So here is your command. Your default design exercise begins now. Pick one domain. Just one. Health, wealth, or focus. For the next 7 days, you will do 2 things, and only 2 things. You will remove one bad default, and you will install one good one. No negotiations, no exceptions. If you pick health, your bad default might be reaching for sugary snacks in the afternoon. Your engineered solution? Remove the bad default. Don't buy the snacks. Throw them out. Right now, install the good default. Every Sunday, chop vegetables and put them in containers at the front of your fridge. That is your new automatic point of performance snack. If you pick wealth, your bad default might be mindless spending on online purchases. Your engineered solution? Remove the bad default. Delete your saved credit card information from your browser. Install the good default. Set up an automatic transfer of $50 to your savings account the moment your paycheck clears. If you pick focus, your bad default might be checking emails as soon as you sit down at your desk. Your engineered solution: remove the bad default. Log out of your email on your computer. Install the good default. Your default first action is to write down the one most important task for the day on a piece of paper. That is your command. For 1 week, you live this new default. You are not trying to be good. You are simply following the design. The design does the work for you. That's the key. It's not about willpower. It's about architecture. You are building the hallway your future self has to walk down. Make sure it only has one door, and that door leads exactly where you want to go. You've built your first default. You've taken the first step in engineering your environment. But a path is useless without a signal to start walking. Now we need to talk about the sparks that ignite your actions. Chapter 3. Engineer the triggers. Control the outcome. That sound is a trigger. It's a signal. It's a starting gun. And right now, you are surrounded by triggers you didn't choose, firing off and hijacking your behavior without your conscious permission. Your brain doesn't operate in random bursts. It runs on loops, efficient automated circuits designed to save energy. Every habit you have, good or bad, follows the same neurological architecture. It's a 4-part loop: cue, craving, response, reward. The cue is the trigger. It's the spark. It could be a time of day, a location, an emotional state, or the sight of a specific object. That cue creates a craving, a desire for a change in how you feel, which leads to the response, the actual habit, the action you take, which finally delivers the reward, the satisfaction that tells your brain, remember this loop for next time. You've been told your whole life to break bad habits. This is terrible advice. It's a fight against your own wiring. It's exhausting and it almost never works. So, stop trying. You don't break a bad habit, you redesign the cue. That's the key. The cue is the weakest point in the chain. It's the entry point. If you control the trigger, you control the outcome. You can't always control the craving, but you can absolutely control the environment that sparks it. This isn't about willpower. It's about environmental engineering. Most of your cues are hidden in plain sight. The notification sound on your phone is an engineered cue for distraction. The couch is an engineered cue for lethargy. The bowl of candy on your coworker's desk is an engineered cue for a sugar hit. You are living in an environment filled with landmines, and then you're surprised when you explode. You have a choice. You can remain a puppet, jerked around by whatever triggers your environment throws at you. Or you can become the puppet master, deliberately placing triggers that pull you toward your goals. This is where you create point-of-performance prompts. Point-of-performance prompt is a cue you deliberately place exactly where and when the action should happen. It makes the right behavior obvious and easy to start. Want to read more? Stop thinking about reading. Place a book on your pillow. That is your cue. When you go to bed, the book is there. The trigger is set. The path of least resistance is to pick it up. Want to drink more water? Place a full, clear bottle of water on your desk. Right in your line of sight. The visual cue does the work. You'll drink without thinking. Want to practice guitar? Don't leave it in the case in the closet. Put it on a stand in the middle of your living room. The cue is constant. The friction is gone. You are not relying on memory. You are not relying on motivation. You are engineering a trigger in the environment that does the remembering for you. So here is your command. Your first mission in behavioral engineering, the trigger hunt. For the next 24 hours, you will become a detective in your own life. You will carry a notepad, physical or digital. Your sole objective is to track every unproductive habit. Every time you mindlessly scroll on your phone, every time you snack when you're not hungry, every time you procrastinate on a task, you write it down. But you are not just writing the habit. You are digging for the cue. You are asking, what happened right before I did this? Did you just sit down at your desk? Did you just get a notification? Did you just feel bored or stressed? Did you see a specific app icon? Identify the trigger. Be ruthless in your investigation. That cue is now your target for elimination or redesign. If sitting down at your desk triggers social media scrolling, your redesign is to log out of the apps on your computer and put your phone in another room during work blocks. You've dismantled the cue. If feeling bored triggers mindless eating, your redesign is to place a list of 5-minute tasks, like organizing a drawer, on your fridge. You've replaced the cue for a bad habit with a cue for a productive one. That's the key. It's not about fighting the craving. It's about dismantling the spark that starts the fire. You don't need more self-control. You need more control over your environment. You don't break a bad habit. You redesign the cue. You've identified the triggers that hold you back. You've started to become the architect of your own behavior. But knowing the trigger is only half the battle. Now we need a strategy to overcome the initial resistance, no matter how small. A way to hack the start of any task. Chapter 4. The 2-minute rule of instant activation procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a physics problem. You see a massive task looming in your mind, and it has immense psychological weight. It feels heavy. Starting it requires a huge initial burst of energy to overcome that inertia, so you don't. You retreat. You distract yourself. You do anything else because the alternative feels like trying to push a freight train with your bare hands. You've been trying to solve this with pep talks, with guilt, with waiting for the right moment. It hasn't worked. It will never work. The solution is not to push the entire train. The solution is to remove the brakes. You attack procrastination at its root by making the start not just easy, but impossibly easy. You redefine what starting means. This is the 2-minute rule. It has 2 parts, and they are non-negotiable. First, if a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Not later. Now, hang up the coat. Wash the coffee cup. Reply to that short email. Send the quick text. These micro-tasks are the clutter that clog your mental runway. They create background noise and a sense of being behind. Executing them in the moment clears the deck and builds a rhythm of completion. Second, and this is the master key, if a big task feels overwhelming, just do the first 2 minutes. You are not committing to the whole project. You are not committing to the entire workout. You are not committing to cleaning the entire garage. You are committing to 2 minutes. That's it. Your brain can't revolt against 2 minutes. The resistance is too small to register. The psychological weight vanishes. Think about the workout. The hardest part is never the workout itself. It's putting on your shoes. It's walking out the door. So you redefine the mission. The mission is not go for a 5-mile run. The mission is put on your running shoes and step outside. That's it. That's the 2-minute launch. What happens next is neuroscience. You've overcome the initial inertia. You've created motion, and an object in motion tends to stay in motion. You're already outside in your shoes. Well, you might as well walk to the end of the street. And once you're there, you might as well jog for a bit. The momentum carries you. You're not starting the task, you're starting the momentum. That's the key. It's not about the task. It's about the physics of behavior. Momentum builds. A tiny, almost frictionless start creates a cascade of action. You are tricking your resistant brain into action by presenting it with a deal it can't refuse. Just 2 minutes. That's all I'm asking. You don't need a surge of motivation. You need a 2-minute agreement with yourself. So, here is your command. The 2-minute launch. This is how you dismantle procrastination, one tiny spark at a time. Identify one task you have been avoiding. The one that sits in the back of your mind, draining your energy just by existing. Is it starting that report? Is it cleaning out that closet? Is it making that difficult phone call? Your mission for tomorrow is simple. You will commit only to the first 2 minutes. That is the entire goal. If it's the report, your mission is to open a new document, write the title, and write 1 sentence. Then you can close it. Mission accomplished. If it's the closet, your mission is to set a timer for 2 minutes and take out 3 things to donate. When the timer beeps, you walk away. If it's the phone call, your mission is to find the number and write down your opening line. That's it. You're not allowed to do more unless the momentum naturally carries you forward. This is crucial. You are building trust with yourself by proving that the commitment is small and manageable. You are proving that starting is safe. That's the key. It's not about the size of the task. It's about the simplicity of the start. You're not starting the task. You're starting the momentum. You are replacing the monumental with the minimal. And that minimal start is enough to change everything. You've learned to spark momentum with a 2-minute start. But a spark can be snuffed out by a hostile environment. To make this momentum unstoppable, we must shape the world around you. Chapter 5. The environment is the invisible hand. You are a fish, and you are swimming in water you did not choose. You can be the most motivated, disciplined, and determined fish in the world. You can have vision boards. You can recite affirmations. You can have the best intentions. But if the water you swim in is contaminated, you will get sick. You will struggle. You will eventually drown. It doesn't matter how hard you try. Your environment is that water. It is the invisible hand that shapes your behavior, your focus, and your results every single day. You can have all the intention in the world, but if you are sitting in a cluttered, noisy room with your phone buzzing next to a bowl of potato chips, your intention to work deeply is a joke. The environment has already won. You are a product of your environment, not your intentions. That's the shocking truth you must accept. Your willpower, your 2-minute rules, your triggers, they are all fighting against the current of your surroundings. You are trying to swim upstream in a polluted river. The smarter strategy is to clean the water. You have a choice. You can keep fighting a losing battle against a toxic environment, or you can become the curator of your own world. This requires a strategic shift. We focus less on adding new things and more on removing the poison. This is the strategy of addition by subtraction. You don't just add a fruit bowl. You subtract the junk food from your pantry. You don't just add a focus timer. You subtract the notifications from your phone. You don't just add positive friends. You subtract the energy vampires from your inner circle. Every negative influence you remove is like filtering a toxin from your water. The environment becomes clearer, cleaner, and more conducive to the life you want to live. The path of least resistance suddenly becomes the path to your goals. The command is non-negotiable. Curate your space, or it will curate you. Your environment is not passive. It is an active force, constantly pushing you toward certain behaviors. A couch curated by a TV remote pushes you toward lethargy. A phone curated by social media apps pushes you toward distraction. A social circle curated by complainers pushes you toward cynicism. If you are not consciously, ruthlessly curating your space, then you are being curated by it. You are being shaped into a person you never intended to be. That's the key. It's not about fighting your impulses. It's about removing the stimuli that trigger them. So, here is your first act of environmental warfare. Your digital sweep. Your phone is the most powerful and most polluted body of water you swim in. It is engineered by billion-dollar companies to hijack your attention. Today, you take back control. Here is your command. You will delete one app that you know wastes your time and fragments your focus. The one that you mindlessly open. The social media app, the game, the news feed, you will delete it. Not just off your home screen, off your phone, but you are not done. Subtraction alone leaves a vacuum. Now you engineer the replacement. That app's prime real estate on your home screen, you will repurpose it. You will put an app that serves your goals directly in that location. A notes app for your ideas. A language learning app. Your podcast app for audiobooks. Your calendar. You have just performed a hostile takeover of your own attention. You have subtracted a point of friction and added a point of flow. You have made distraction harder and progress easier. You have curated your digital space. That's the key. It's not about willpower. It's about environmental design. You are a product of your environment, not your intentions. So you must design an environment that manufactures the intentions you want to have. You clean the water, and the fish thrives automatically. You've begun to clean your environment. You've taken control of the invisible hand. But willpower is weak, and temptation is clever. To make your system truly foolproof, you need to build locks and keys for your future self. Chapter 6. Build commitment devices, not excuses. That is the sound of a door locking. A decision made in the present that the future you cannot undo. You have a future self problem. We've established this. That future version of you is a master negotiator, a compromiser, a weasel who will find a way to rationalize skipping the workout, breaking the diet, or delaying the project. You cannot trust them with a key, so you must take away their options. A commitment device is not a goal. It is not a hope. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that controls your actions in the future. It is a strategic removal of your own freedom because you know that freedom is what you abuse. Think of Odysseus from the ancient myth. He had to sail his ship past the sirens, whose songs were so enchanting they lured sailors to crash on the rocks. He couldn't trust his future self to resist. So what did he do? He made a commitment device. He ordered his men to tie him tightly to the mast of the ship and to plug their own ears with wax. He commanded them to ignore all his future pleas and struggles until they were safely past the danger. He made the wrong thing, steering the ship toward the rocks. Impossible. That is the power you must harness. You are both Odysseus and his crew. You are the one who gives the orders in a moment of clarity, and you are the one who must obey them in a moment of weakness. Your mantra, from this day forward, is this: make the right thing easy and the wrong thing impossible. A goal is, I want to write a book. A commitment device is, I will use an app that blocks all internet access on my computer from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And if I try to disable it, it donates $50 to a political party I hate. You have made distraction expensive and failure painful. A goal is, I want to get fit. Commitment device is, I will prepay for a full year of personal training sessions, and if I miss one, I lose the money for that session. You have attached a real financial cost to laziness. Goal is, I want to save money. A commitment device is, I will set up an automatic transfer that moves 10% of my paycheck into a savings account with no debit card and difficult withdrawal rules the day it clears. You have made spending that money a high-friction event. You are not relying on willpower. You are building a cage for it. You are designing your life so that failure requires more effort than success. That's the key. It's not about hoping you'll be strong later. It's about engineering your environment so that weakness is no longer an option. So, here is your command. Your Ulysses Pact. This week, you will design and implement one commitment device. Just one, but it must be real. It must have teeth. It must make failure expensive. The expense can be financial, social, or practical. Financial. Schedule a training session you have to pay for if you miss. Set up a bet with a friend where you owe them $100 if you don't follow through. Social. Publicly commit to a deadline on social media. Tell your entire team the project will be done Friday. Now the cost of failure is public shame and lost credibility. Practical. Use a website blocker with a strict lockout timer. Give your gaming console controller to a friend to hold for the week. Choose one. Design it. Activate it. You are building a system that acknowledges your human frailty and defends against it. You are not making an excuse. You are building a barrier against your own excuses. That's the key. It's not about being a perfect, unwavering machine. It's about being a clever engineer who builds guardrails so that when you inevitably swerve, you don't crash. Make the right thing easy and the wrong thing impossible. This is how you lock the door on your own weakness. You've built commitment devices. You've locked in your future behavior. But a lock is useless if you don't know what's behind the door. To ensure your effort is never wasted, you must learn to measure what actually matters. Chapter 7. Measure the output, not the effort stop. Just stop. You are confusing motion for progress. You are mistaking a flurry of activity for actual achievement. You feel busy. You feel drained. You spent the entire day in a whirlwind of tasks, and at the end of it, you have nothing concrete to show for your effort. You don't get points for trying. You get results from doing. Your feelings about your work are irrelevant. You can feel productive while accomplishing nothing. You can feel overwhelmed while avoiding the one thing that actually matters. Your feelings are a terrible metric for success. They are fog. They are noise. The shocking, liberating truth is this. Your feelings about your work are irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the tangible, measurable output. Did you write the 1,000 words? Did you make the 10 sales calls? Did you complete the 45-minute workout? Not, did you think about it? Not, did you get ready for it? Not, did you feel tired afterwards? Did you do it? That's the key. It's not about how hard you worked. It's about what you produced. This is the critical difference between a lag measure and a lead measure. A lag measure is the outcome. It's the final score. Lose 20 pounds. Write a book. Increase revenue by 15%. These are vital, but they are historical. By the time you see them, the game is already over. You can't change them. They are the echo, not the shout. A lead measure is the behavior that drives the outcome. It is the thing you can directly influence today. It is predictive and influenceable. Instead of tracking Get Fit, a lag measure, you track Complete 20-minute workout, a lead measure. Instead of tracking Write a book, a lag measure, you track Write 500 words, a lead measure. Instead of tracking Build a better relationship, a lag measure, you track Have one 15-minute device-free conversation, a lead measure. What gets measured gets managed. When you focus on lead measures, you take control. You are no longer a passive observer waiting for a scale to move or a deal to close. You are an active operator who knows that if you hit your lead measures, the lag measures must follow. It is a law of cause and effect. You are not managing results. You are managing the behaviors that create results. So, here is your command. This is how you install clarity and kill confusion forever. You will create a simple daily checklist. No elaborate journals, no complex apps, no feelings. You will identify 3 key lead measures. Just 3. They must be specific, binary, and directly tied to your most important goals. Did you complete your 20-minute workout? Yes or no? Did you write your 500 words? Yes or no? Did you make your 5 sales calls? Yes or no? That is your checklist. Your entire job each day is to check those 3 boxes. No explanations. No, I was too tired. No, I got busy. The system is merciless. Either you did the thing that moves the needle, or you didn't. You are not judging your day. You are auditing your output. Your feelings are irrelevant. Your effort is irrelevant. The only thing that is relevant is the checked box, the completed action, the tangible proof of progress. That's the key. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. What gets measured, gets managed, and you are now in charge. You have replaced the fog of feeling with the clarity of data. You've started measuring what matters. You have your checklist. But the first system you build will be flawed. Perfection is a trap. Now we must embrace the process of relentless refinement. Chapter 8. The cycle of iteration, not perfection. Listen to that error. It's not a failure. It's data. You are waiting. You are researching the perfect planner, the perfect app, the perfect morning routine. You are stuck in the paralysis of analysis because you are terrified of building a flawed system. You believe that if you just think hard enough, you can design a perfect, seamless machine from the start. That is a fantasy. It is a lie your brain tells you to avoid starting. Your first system will be flawed. It will be messy. It will have leaks, bugs, and points of failure. Your first workout will be awkward. Your first daily checklist will have the wrong items on it. Your first design default will be inconvenient. This is not failure. This is the first draft. The goal is not to launch a perfect system. The goal is to launch a functional system and then refine it. You must embrace the engineer's mindset. Everything is a prototype. Everything can be upgraded. A good system today is better than a perfect system never. That's the mantra. Repeat it. A mediocre system you actually execute will generate more results than the flawless masterpiece stuck in your head. You cannot improve a system that doesn't exist. You need something, anything, to work with. The key is not getting it right the first time. The key is creating a process for getting it right over time. This is why you need a weekly system review. This is not a feelings-based journal entry. This is a 10-minute operational debrief. You sit down with your checklist, your calendar, and your notes. You ask 3 brutal, objective questions. First, what worked? What specific part of my system did I execute flawlessly? Did my 2-minute rule get me started every time? Did my pre-laid gym clothes make the morning effortless? Acknowledge the wins. Reinforce what's working. Second, what broke? Where did the system fail? Be specific. I skipped my workout on Tuesday is not the failure. The failure is the cause. The trigger broke because I stayed up too late the night before and was too tired to care. Or, the friction was too high because I didn't prep my lunch and had to go out, which made me miss my workout window. Identify the exact point of fracture. Third, what one change can I make? This is the most important part. Based on the breakage, what is one single tiny adjustment you can implement next week? Not 10 changes. 1. If you were too tired, your one change is a strict 10:30 p.m. lights out alarm. If the friction was too high, your one change is to pack your gym bag the night before. No drama, just design. You are not a failure because your system broke. You are an engineer who just discovered a weakness in the prototype. Now you fix it, that's the key. It's not about being perfect. It's about being iterative, so here is your command. Your system is a living document. It breathes, it adapts, it evolves. This week, during your weekly review, you will identify one point of failure. Just one, then you will implement one fix. One tiny, deliberate design change to reinforce that weak point. Did your phone still distract you? The fix is moving your charging station to another room. Did you still skip writing? The fix is reducing your daily word count from 500 to 100. Did you still eat junk food? The fix is banning that food from your house entirely. One failure. One fix. That's the entire cycle. You do this every week, forever. Your system gets stronger, smarter, and more resilient with every single iteration. A good system today is better than a perfect system never. And an iterated system tomorrow is better than today's. You are not building a statue. You are cultivating a garden. You tend to it, you prune it, you help it grow. You've embraced the cycle of iteration. You are refining your machine.
But even the most perfectly designed engine can be crashed by a reckless driver.
It's time to go deeper, to the very source code of your behavior. Chapter 9. Your brain is a circuit. Rewire it. That static is your old wiring. The clear signal is your new self trying to get through. You think your habits are just things you do. They are not. They are physical structures in your brain. Every time you perform a behavior, you are tracing a neural pathway. The more you trace it, the deeper and wider it becomes, like a dirt path turning into a superhighway. The behavior becomes automatic because your brain, an efficiency engine, just takes the fastest route. This is neuroplasticity. It is not a theory. It is the literal structural reality of your mind. Your brain is constantly being reshaped by your actions. And when you try to change a habit, you are not just fighting temptation. You are trying to bulldoze a neural superhighway and blaze a new trail through thick jungle. That feeling of resistance, that discomfort, that mental friction, that is not a sign you are failing. The pain of discipline is the fee for a new identity. That's the key. The discomfort is the work. It is the feeling of your brain rewiring itself. You are not just doing a workout. You are carving the neural pathway of a person who doesn't skip workouts. You are not just writing a report. You are strengthening the circuit of a person who does deep work. The pain is the cost. You are paying for an upgrade. But you don't have to do this with brute force alone. You can be strategic. You can pre-wire the circuits. This is where you use implementation intention. This is a fancy term for writing a script for your autopilot. It takes the form. When trigger happens, I will specific behavior. You are not leaving your response to chance. You are programming it in advance. You are installing a software update for your brain. When my alarm goes off at 6 a.m., I will immediately get up and put on my running shoes. When I feel the urge to check my phone during work, I will instead take one deep breath and return to my document. When I sit down to dinner, I will serve myself vegetables first. This is not a goal. It is a preloaded command. It moves the decision from the moment of weakness, when your old deep neural highway is pulling you in, to a moment of clarity. You have already decided. The thinking is done. You are programming your autopilot. Stop thinking and start executing. So here is your command. Your mission is to become the coder of your own behavior. You will create 3 if-then scripts for 3 predictable daily challenges. Be specific. No vagueness. First, identify the trigger. What is the moment that usually derails you? Second, write the exact script. What is the new specific behavior you will execute? For example, trigger. When I finish my lunch, script. I will immediately fill my water bottle and place it on my desk. Trigger. When I feel overwhelmed by a large task, script. We'll set a timer for 25 minutes and work only on the first step. Trigger. When I get home from work and feel drained, script. I will change into my workout clothes before I do anything else. Write them down. Say them out loud. You are not hoping you'll make the right choice. You are defining the only choice that exists. That's the key. It's not about willpower. It's about wiring. The pain of discipline is the fee for a new identity. And with implementation intention, you make the payment automatic. You are building new neural highways, one pre-scripted action at a time. You are not a victim of your biology. You are the architect of it. You have rewired your circuits. You have programmed your autopilot. Now it's time to see what this new machine can truly do when all the parts work together, day after day after day. Chapter 10. The compound effect of daily systems. Forget the grand gesture. Forget the heroic all-night effort. Forget the burst of motivation that fades by lunchtime. True power does not come from a single explosion. It comes from a constant, relentless thrust. Think of a spacecraft heading to the moon. It isn't pointed directly at its target and fired. That would guarantee a miss by millions of miles. Instead, it is constantly making tiny, almost imperceptible course corrections. A 1-degree adjustment today, a half-degree adjustment tomorrow. Each correction is trivial by itself, but compounded over the vastness of space, those tiny adjustments are the difference between a cosmic miss and a perfect landing. Your life is that spacecraft. And your daily systems are the course corrections. This entire book boils down to this one. Undeniable law, small automated actions, compounded daily, create an unstoppable trajectory. Writing 500 words today seems insignificant, but do it every day and in a year you have a book. Completing a 20-minute workout today feels minimal, but do it every day and in a year you are transformed. Making one sales call today is a small act, but do it every day and in a year your pipeline is overflowing. The triggers you engineer, the defaults you design, the 2-minute starts, the commitment devices, these are not isolated tricks. They are the individual thrusters on your ship. They are the tiny, daily burns that keep you locked on target. The goal was never a single, heroic act. It is the relentless execution of a simple, boring system. Stop chasing the intensity of the crash diet. Pursue the consistency of the prepped meal. Stop seeking the inspiration for a writing marathon. Trust the system of the daily word count. Stop relying on the occasional burst of willpower. Rely on the engineered environment that makes willpower irrelevant. Consistency over intensity. Every time, intensity is a flare that burns out. Consistency is the sun that rises without fail. Intensity is loud and impressive in the moment. Consistency is quiet and world-changing over time. You don't need to be a superstar for one day. You need to be a professional every day. That's the key. It's not about a moment of transformation. It's about a process of compound growth. So let this be the final seismic shift in your identity. You are no longer a person trying to be disciplined. You are not someone hoping for motivation. You are not battling your own nature. You are something else. Entirely. You are a collection of optimized defaults. You are a network of engineered triggers. You are a practitioner of the 2-minute start. You are a builder of commitment devices. You are a master of lead measures. You are an iterative engineer of your own life. You are no longer a person trying to be disciplined. You are a system that generates results. You are the discipline engine. The hum you hear is that engine. It is the sound of your automated defaults firing, your triggers activating, your momentum compounding. It is the sound of effort becoming obsolete. It is the sound of a course being corrected, day by day, until you arrive exactly where you decided to go. The blueprint is complete. The engine is built. Now go run it. Let's be clear. You have the blueprint. The willpower myth is dead. You now know that discipline is an engineering problem. You design your defaults. You engineer the triggers. You activate with the 2-minute rule. You make your environment your ally. You build commitment devices that hold you accountable. You measure what matters. You iterate without mercy. And you rewire your brain through relentless repetition. This is not about feeling motivated. This is about being effective. You have one job now, to install the system, to trust the engine, to execute the process day after day after day. The chaos of your old life is over. The predictability of results begins now.